Just a few boneheaded, walking, talking Neanderthals.
Get back, you.
You interrupting me just blew the whole thing out.
My apologies.
Yeah, I'll forgive you. That's just the kind of friend I am.
Oh, nice. All right. I'm so lucky to have a friend like you.
Truly are.
Should we wait?
I don't know.
Or what do you want to do?
I mean, I've already started.
The recording?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought. Okay. Well, I was gonna ask when I interrupted you, telling me something that we forgot about. I was gonna ask because I remember. Okay. How did giving you 2 weeks go?
Oh, fine. And it's like, oh, sad to see you go.
They didn't like freak out and offer you twice as much.
No.
I thought you said they were screwed. I mean, they could be screwed and not care that you're leaving, but it's still interesting.
Well, I mean, they're not screwed. They're just gonna be not have a lot of guys there. So kind of.
Well, I thought you said it was just you and that other guy with the climbers. Is there other climbers still there?
Nope.
So they're not gonna have any climbers.
I'll have one.
Bummer.
For them.
So what? Any updates on the Missouri move yet?
Oh, you probably don't know this. We've put in an offer on a duplex. The offer was accepted. So, you know.
Hell fucking yeah, dude. Are you going to do the live in one, Airbnb the other?
Not right now. It has a tenant in it right now.
The duplex, like the other side?
Mm-hmm. So we'll just keep that tenant. Apparently they're like, a really good tenant. So
like a long-term rental?
Yeah, for now.
Damn, you guys got a whole fucking duplex? That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm. Well, but, I mean, it's not set in stone yet, but...
Yeah, you gotta go through the whole procedure.
Yeah, it's gotta get, inspected and yada, yada, yada.
That's cool, man. I think that's an ideal situation there.
Yeah, we're only like 15 minutes from some public hunting land. Like a conservation area.
Right on. I'd be curious to see pictures of it if you have any.
The public hunting area or the house?
Or the house. Or the public hunting area, honestly.
I only have... I can give you the address and you can look at like the front, but there's not pictures like of the inside online.
Is it on Zillow or?
Yeah, but they won't have pictures online.
Oh, they didn't have pictures on Zillow?
No, but like my mom, the realtor went in there and my mom like looked at it and said it looked okay. So.
Like your mom went to Missouri and looked at it?
No, on the phone.
Oh.
Like the realtor FaceTimed her and showed her everything.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
But I think my mom is gonna go for the inspection.
Sweet. Are you gonna be like? I'm not 100% certain on the time frame for this, so I'm assuming because you guys said you're gonna move in August, right?
Late August.
So, are you gonna be out there before August to like check the place out or whatever?
No. Like my mom's gonna go out there. But I have to be at work this week. Actually, I might go up there. Scratch that. I believe I am going up there.
Because this is your last week coming up, right?
Yeah, and so after this week, I think I'm gonna go up there and make sure everything's cool. And then, just kind of get an idea of what I'm gonna do. Like I'm gonna put a fence in and blah 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 blah. But
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Sweet. I bet Sarah's stoked.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of stressful just because there's a lot of shit to do, but.
Yeah, but you're the family man now. You can take care of all that shit.
Not right now. Right now?
Oh yeah, after this week.
Man.
After this week.
And after this week, I'm the packing man.
Packing man. So, is it more space than your current place, like the duplex you'll be living in?
I think so. Not by much, but yes.
Cool, man. Cool. Baby's gonna have its own room, her own room. I keep forgetting that you. Did you text me? I guess it was a girl. Yeah.
I don't remember.
I feel like remembering it was a girl. I'm correct, right?
Snapchat. Yep.
Yeah. Baby girl.
Yep. Isabella Catherine Anderson.
The name has been set in stone, approved
by me.
You haven't have you had this conversation with Sarah already?
Oh yeah.
And
She got flaky for a minute, but I think she's okay with it.
It'd be great. You get there like about to fill the birth certificate, and she's like, "Wait, I've had a change of."
Well,
No,
you just
I've
never
said
know.
it. Just don't tell her. Like while she's sleeping after delivery, just fucking write the name down.
That would be fun.
Yeah, man, that your baby's gonna be born in Missouri. How do you feel about that?
Man, none of my family was born in Texas.
I wasn't born in Texas either.
Yep.
None of my family was born in Texas.
Just following tradition, but at this point.
Yeah, yeah. Was your brother born in Missouri?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
See how that turned out.
What a coincidence. Hey, man, maybe she'll be a fish slaying machine like your brother.
Fishing, hunting, slaying machine. I'll go send her to live with Matt over the summers.
Yeah. I mean, she's Sarah's kid, so she'll probably be pretty smart, but
smart and a good duck hunter.
Hey, man. That ain't a bad combo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Man. Well, all right. Man, you're so adult now. It's ridiculous.
It's weird. As I sit here playing on my computer, eating Panda Express.
Yeah.
So adult.
I'm going to miss you when that baby's born. Your bitch ass ain't getting on the games no more.
I'm going to be up all night, all day.
I'll hear from you like every 3 months, and it'll be like you're half awake. Like, I have to play one game before. Yeah. Oh, man.
That's going to be great.
Hey, but at least like you'll be in a position where you're like the stay-at-home parent, right? Is that the plan still? I'm not 100% sure what the plan is. But
yes, I'm still gonna try and work a little bit just to bring in just a little extra income, like on the weekends or something, while Sarah can watch the baby.
Yeah.
Maybe just doing some tree work. I'm not sure, but
yeah.
Just like $500 a month, something like that.
But yeah, like you'll be. I don't know. It's hard for me to come up with other analogies. But kind of like my dad. He like did gig. He was like a gig guy and watched us. That kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's a good place to be. I think personally. I don't know what other people say. But...
I'm also gonna be like the dude that fixes shit on the property.
Right. You're gonna have a tenant. You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Fucking. The one thing I've learned is renters. If they can complain, they will complain. So, I'm sure you'll be busy. You'll be living the good life.
Yeah, we'll see.
Watch you have like a demon baby just in the middle of the night, like. That's what happens when you call your baby Izzy. He starts getting into like metal, just blasting metal at 6 months old. Yeah, fuck. If it's your kid, it'll be blasting music on like 80, deafening.
Mm-hmm.
Won't be able to hear.
It's alright.
Man, that's cool. That's coming up quick. August is fucking next month. Huh?
And at this conservation area, it is for deer and turkey, both rifle and bow.
Oh, they have a bow only season?
Yes? Question mark.
Because I don't know.
Most places do.
Yeah, like most places, how they do it is bow season is earlier, and then once gun season opens, you can do gun and bow, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that's how it is here too, but it's only like 15 minutes away.
How many acres is this place?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I haven't looked at it yet. Just been told about it.
Cost to get a license?
Probably too much the first year. For me, because I won't be residential.
Oh, how long you have to be a resident for?
Usually, in most states, it's from like 6 months to a year.
Well, shit, that's funny because you don't know what's happening yet, right? But it's minimum 2 years. So like, if it ends up only being 2 years, you'd have to pay the expensive for half the time you're there.
Mm-hmm. Bullshit. Oh well.
Yeah. It's worth it.
So
it's also not like that fucking money goes to some crackhead organization either. It goes to...
True.
conservation, the shit we care about. So
A good cause.
yeah.
So how was your weekend? So
Good.
you did a lot of cooking?
I had a fucking blast, man. So went red snapper fishing, obviously. And I don't know how this started. I think it started when everybody came to my house that one week we were all in town, and I cooked, and I cooked to Dad, and he's like, "Oh, you can fucking cook all of a sudden?" And he started cooking for us. So it started this trend of me, making dinners and stuff. So we went fishing Saturday. We went offshore red snapper fishing Saturday, but the Friday before we were at the beach hanging out, and Dad's like, "All right, listen, I've seen it on like the Food Network. I want whole fish, whole grilled fish." And I'm like, "Bro, I fucking barely know how to do like anything. I'll try,
Mm-hmm.
So went out, we caught our limit, and Kai didn't go, so we ended up with 6 snapper. 4 of them I filleted out like regular, and then 2 of them I gutted, took the gills out, and descaled them, or scaled them, I guess is the correct term, and put those in the fridge for dinner. And then how I ended up preparing them, if you're curious, is took them out of the fridge, let them set for a little bit, let them not cool off because they were already cold, but get them a little more room temperature, I guess.
Yeah.
Patted them dry, and then I scored the skin on each side.
How deep?
Okay, so obviously
inch?
not all the way through the fillet. Because I can't give you a measurement exactly because the fish is not equal width,
Right.
along the whole
If you
skin.
were to poke your finger in there, how far would your finger go in?
To my first knuckle, my first joint.
Oh,
my finger.
So fairly deep. That's like a half inch, almost quarter inch.
Yeah, I would say at the deepest part it was half inch or maybe even a little more half inch.
Oh.
It didn't go all the way through the fillet. There was no hole. It's not a hole, right?
Yeah.
It's just lightly scored. And also red snapper's big. Like if I was doing a red drum, it wouldn't be half an inch. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So scored it on both sides, and then I rubbed olive oil. Actually, I think I rubbed olive oil before I scored. I can't remember. Anyway, rubbed olive oil on it, and then I salted, peppered both sides. And then I made this chimichurri sauce, which I don't know if it's like an Indian thing or what exactly, the home country of chimichurri sauce is. But I'm sure you've had it before. But it's basically like a bunch of cilantro, parsley, onions. Like it's a green sauce,
Uh-huh.
I liked it a lot, honestly, by itself. Anyway, so I made it fresh myself. I went to the store, got the ingredients, put it in the blender, made the chimichurri sauce. And at first, my plan was just to have that as like at the end, you can put it on your fish kind of thing. And then I was like, well, fuck it. I might as well just grill the fish with the chimichurri sauce on it. So what I ended up doing is the limes I had left over from the chimichurri sauce, because I didn't use all of them, I cut into slices, put the slices of lime in the chest cavity of the fish, and then I smeared it all in chimichurri sauce. So inside the cavity, inside the scoring, all over the skin, just coated it in this chimichurri sauce. And then I ended up coal grilling it because, one, I like coal better, and 2, that's the only thing we have that was big enough to hold 2 big whole fish. So did the coals, and then once it was like searing hot, like if you were going to do a steak, I put the fish on, closed the lid, and then I ended up doing like 12 minutes aside, 13, like anywhere between 10 and 15 is what the recipe said. So I just eyeballed it.
Yep.
So it probably ended up being somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes total for the fish. Flipped it once, and then I took it off the grill, rubbed a little more chimichurri sauce on it, and ready to go. And it's fork tender, so literally you can just fork it off. Obviously, the only thing you have to worry about now is since it's whole, like any bones or anything in there. But anybody that's eaten fish before, they're not gonna care or choke and die on them. So anyway, you can just fork it off. Like there's no scales on it. You eat the flesh. Tasted good. So anyway, fork it off. My mom made rice, and I made myself a plate with rice and then the fish, and then I coated it in more of that sauce because it was fucking tits. And yeah, that's what I that was dinner yesterday after, and nothing beats fucking fresh fish. And I'm gonna be honest, I've had fish at a lot of fancy restaurants, you know, and I'm not gonna say it's like the best fish I've ever had, but it's up there for sure. I enjoyed it a lot, and I got good reviews for it. So I'm gonna have to try it again. I didn't get like a good crust on the skin like I wanted to because I didn't get the charcoals hot enough, and that's a whole different subject. I haven't mastered coals yet, but it turned out good. So yeah, that's what I did.
Very good, very good.
Yeah, I'm starting to develop my chef skills because Dad got 4 ribeye steaks, and I cooked those today on the charcoals, and that turned out really well. But now he's like, "Oh, you think you're hot shit? I'm buying a brisket for next weekend or whatever.
No.
You come down next." I'm like, "I'm gonna fuck that up."
Oh god,
that's like hours of maintenance.
Hours.
Like maintain, like if you don't have a fucking
you got
Traeger,
like a little spritzer bottle.
Yeah, dude. I was watching videos after you told me that. I'm like, I can't fuck this up. Honestly, my biggest worry is maintaining the temperature, right? Like it's a fire. You have to keep the fire going, and you're trying to keep it in like an ideal temperature of like 225 or something like that.
Well, your dad has like one of those meter things, right?
He's got a probe, yes. That doesn't mean like your
It sits
fire,
in there though, right?
What does?
The probe.
Yeah, you just put the probe in.
Yeah,
but hooks up to my phone.
That way you can just watch your probe.
Yeah, but my point is, it's not like a dial where I just set the temperature on it. Like I have to maintain the fire to keep the temperature where I want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I mean, at least it'll give you a warning, like, hey, it's getting too cold in here. You know?
No, yes, you're correct for sure. I'm just saying, I'm doing the thing I do where I'm like, the most ideal situation would be if I had like $1,000 Traeger, where you literally just type in 225, you never have to fucking worry about it. But
smokers are like that.
Well, it's a Traeger smoker.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like a grill that does that.
No, a Traeger is the pellet grills.
Yeah.
That thing. But we've got the regular old barrel smoker, which should be fine. I'm building it up too much in my head now because the problem is I've cooked. So far, I've done pretty all right, and now I've set the expectations too high. It's like getting A's all the time, and then you get a B, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Whereas if you got C's all the time, and then you got a B, you'd be like, "Oh wow, good job."
Yeah,
See,
right.
now I've been doing A's, and if this brisket turns into a C, my self confidence is gonna plummet.
You gotta fuck up at some point.
Yeah, I guess brisket seems like a bad place to.
All right, check it out.
Yeah.
So I got a bunch of goose in my freezer that I need to get rid of.
Okay.
All right, and then I have a cookbook here.
Oh, okay.
You think grilled and just replace duck with goose, okay? Grilled duck nachos. No, not that. Roast duck. This one intrigues me. Tea smoked duck breast. That sounds good.
He smoked duck breast.
Seared goose breast. Red wine braised waterfowl. Ooh, duck ravioli? All right, those are all the options.
My tendency for duck and I guess goose, because I've had goose, I just can't remember what cooking with it was like, because I didn't cook it, but the tendency for me is like it can be chewy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like I guess what I'm trying to say is either treat it like a steak or treat it like a roast. So I'm impartial to the roast, the tea smoked, and then the braised. Those are the 3 that I am. Honestly, if I had to pick, just because I don't know what the fuck tea smoked means, I would pick the roast. What is tea? Like, is it like tea leaves? Like tea, like a drink?
So, let me look at the ingredients. Yeah, tea leaves. There's a half cup of loose black tea leaves in here.
That's interesting.
It's kind of cool. I mean, I love the way that tea leaves smell. Now imagine that smell in your meat.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
I want to try that one. Right.
I think it was meaty or something, but they were talking about what pairs well with waterfowl.
This is a meat eater cookbook.
Oh, yeah. See, there you go. because they were talking about like fruity, herbally flavors pair well with
All right.
waterfowl. So
here's the deal, though. I'm really not like a sweet meat kind of guy, so like fruity meat, I'm just not down with.
Well, no, not. Well, that we've had this discussion before, I think. And
I'm sure
you and I disagree on this, but I don't think they were referring to the preparation of the meat as more in like pairing things with the meat,
things
like,
to go with it.
Yeah, because I'm referring to a specific video where he mentions what pairs well, but the example he gives and what he makes is like an apple chutney, which is kind of like a thick apple. It's not like an apple sauce, but it's an apple sauce basically. And he pairs that with his duck, and I think he just pan fries the duck in the end. But
they do pair this with a blueberry port. I don't know how to pronounce compote compote
confit. No, right.
Confit. I don't know.
Fuck if I know. That actually, whatever it is, sounds good. I love blueberries. Unless it's a wine, then that can blow down my ass. I hate wine.
I don't like wine.
I don't. What's the roast? Is that like
the roast?
Slow in a cooker, like a pot.
Roast duck.
Crocker.
Do you want me to like read you the introduction? It's kind of a long paragraph.
Is it really that long a paragraph?
Well, I can read it to you and we can find out.
Yeah, sure. Hit me with it.
It says, I mentioned in the introduction to this chapter that my love affair with eating wild duck began with the oven-roasted woodies that my mom prepared when I was a kid. She stuffed the birds with raisins and chopped apples. See, I'm just not down for that. Stuffed the birds with raisins and chopped apples and cooked them hot and fast. They were simple and nearly perfect. The one drawback was that the fruit stuffing was locked up inside the chest cavity, and the flavor never fully integrated with the meat. This recipe helps correct that because here the fruit is paired more aggressively with the meat as a glaze of pomegranate molasses. This is not for me. The carved meat is then garnished with pomegranate seeds as a fun and surprising accompaniment. The key here, as with all roasted ducks, is not to overcook the bird. True. You want to hit that sweet spot where the legs are cooked through and the breast is still moist. Have a meat thermometer on hand in order to hit your preferred temperature without going over. Sweet meat. I'm not about it.
See, I don't know if that makes the meat sweet or not.
Oh, it totally
I guess
does.
It has to, right? If you're cooking it with just like, because it sounds like pairing it is different than like stuffing it with the like you just put pomegranate on it at the end. I guess. Fuck if I don't know.
It sounds like you're putting pomegranate seeds, which I'm assuming means like the whole like the fruited seed. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
On top of it, and then also you're cooking it with the fruit on it. Oh, sorry, with the molasses, the pomegranate molasses.
Molasses isn't bad. I don't see. Here's the thing. To me, it sounds very lovely, but you also hate sweet meat, and it sounds like most of his premise for waterfowl sounds like pairing it with fruity flavors. Yeah, which might be an issue for you. It sounds really good though. Here's another problem I have though. Is that sounds like a whole duck preparation. Do you have whole goose or do you just have the breast?
I do. I have breasts and I have legs. I do not have them attached to the chest cavity.
Yeah. So,
but I think I definitely think you could take that idea and make it into something very similar very easily.
I bet you could.
Your cook times wouldn't be the same, but
this is part of developing my skills. Is I want to do a whole duck. The problem is you might have before, but I've never like done the whole duck. Like when I'm cleaning the duck, prepared it for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My dad does it sometimes, and it's really, really, really good. He'll dry age it in the refrigerator for X amount of time. I don't remember how long, but once he cooks it, it literally tastes like a steak.
See, I want to learn how to do that. I need to try next year, I guess.
It's really good. But we only do that to like pintails, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I think most of these recipes are geared towards puddle ducks in general, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
True.
mean, I don't think they're gonna be shooting a lot of divers in Michigan or wherever the fuck that guy lives.
I'm sure they do.
I bet they shoot a lot of mallards. Like, I bet most of duck recipes are geared towards mallards.
I don't know.
Or at least with mallards in mind, you know?
I'm not sure.
That's the most popular duck in this country.
Yeah, true. But I don't know. I feel like with your, I don't know, with ducks like pintails, you put them in singly, right? Like they are the piece de resistance. However, with a blue-winged teal, you're going to put that in your gumbo. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yes, I agree.
With your divers.
But you just read some recipes to me, and one of them was smoked, braised, roast.
Right, so I think a lot of these are going to be...
divers. Puddle ducks, not divers.
Yeah. Dabblers.
Yeah. See, I want a fucking redhead recipe. Here's what to do with your piece of shit redhead duck. Other than make pop.
Well, the nachos. I bet the nachos would really cover up any gamey flavor you didn't want.
Yeah, you can do that.
I think the nachos would be a really good idea for that.
This was also another concept that is interesting to me because I think you and I are both similar in the fact that we like gamey stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that
there is a line to that, but yes.
Okay, so how do you feel about redheads? Because to be honest, I would, if I had to pick, I would pick a pintail every day of the fucking week.
Yeah.
But I can eat a redhead breast and not even flinch.
Yeah,
you know
no, I'm happy. I'm happy eating any duck.
Because I pan roasted a redhead this past season just because I was like bored and hungry. And actually, I think we just got home from hunting and I had a redhead breast, you know, a pair in my hand, and I was like, I'm just gonna make these for my lunch. I'm gonna cook it like I would like a steak, kind of. So I just put it in the pan, seared both sides, and then basted it with butter, and that, you know, pink in the middle still.
Yeah. That
fucking hit the spot, and I think a lot of people would see a redhead and be like, "That's a fucking popper."
Yeah,
that's
no,
it
for sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, it doesn't bother me. And honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do a taste test. I'm gonna have to take a redhead, for example, and a pintail, cook them, you know, in the same way, same exact way, side by side, blindfold myself, and then taste and see what the difference is. You know?
Yes.
That's what I need to do.
I think I haven't done that exactly, but I did what I just said with redhead, and then this past season when I shot a pintail, I breasted it out with the skin on.
Oh, yes.
And then I skin on in the pan first and rendered out that duck fat and then basically cooked it in its own fat.
Yeah.
And that turned out like a slice of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So when I compare that directly with the redhead, I'm like, this isn't even a contest. But
just different preparation.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because I don't think, at least, I don't know if this is a fact or this is just a stigma or this is, you know, like what you hear through the grapevine among duck hunters. But I don't think people like the fat off of non-puddle ducks. You know what I
mean? I know that's something that people complain about, like on farm-raised ducks. They're like, oh, it's too greasy, too fatty. I don't know about, because normal duck, like wild ducks, don't have that much fat.
Right.
So I don't know. It doesn't.
Wild
really,
anything doesn't have that much fat.
No, it doesn't, like it doesn't come up in like anytime I'm preparing duck. I'm never like, what am I gonna do with this fat?
I like when you see people doing like whole duck recipes and all that. It's first of all, 90% of the time it's a mallard. So you're like, is this apples to oranges or is this like a green apple to a red apple kind of situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you could switch that out for a pintail and be, you know, no problem at all. Mallard, pintail, bam. But you try to do the same recipe with the redhead, is it going to be different? Like, I don't find recipes for whole redhead like I do whole pintail and whole mallard. You know what I'm saying? Like those fancy, basically anything that's not a fucking popper, because that's what 90% of all ducks go to in the world anyways.
Yeah.
Or at least wild, you know, duck hunters. ducks, but I don't know. It's just because there's two ideas in my head, which is us, like I don't want to say like us as in like derogatory, but like the redneck hunter, like the duck hunter, the way he prepares it, and then there's the highfalutin society, like $1,000 dinner, and duck is like a prized thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's a different kind of duck, though.
Right. But there has to be like a intersection here. Like it's still duck, right? I don't know. These are questions I have. I don't know the answers to these questions, but
I've never eaten farm-raised duck, but anytime anybody tells me they don't like duck, it's because they've eaten farm-raised duck. So there has to be like some pretty significant difference there.
I wonder what it is. I would think farm-raised duck is more mild, but I don't know.
I don't know either.
But that duck fat is like a famous thing. Like that's people cook other shit in duck fat, so there has to be some crossover. Right?
Side note. You can hunt black bears in Missouri.
They have a lot of black bears in Missouri.
They have black bears in Missouri, and apparently you can hunt them.
Is that like you can draw a tag kind of thing? Or
I don't know. I didn't do a whole lot of research on it.
I would fucking love to be a fly on the wall for a bear hunt. I mean, as an out-of-stater, I find it hard to believe I'll ever be able to shoot one, but I would love to go on a hunt with you just to see you shoot one. That'd be fucking awesome. I don't know. I've heard of people hunting black bears on public land, obviously. I just don't know what it entails. You have to draw a tag, or?
I don't know. I'm looking right now.
I bet that's a draw a lot of people. Can you enter draws in Missouri when you move, or you have to wait?
No idea. So they have black bear management zones, and this is like the southern half of Missouri. Shooting hours, limits, harvest quota. You are required to call a number prior to hunting each day to determine if the harvest quota has been met. This line will be updated no later than midnight each day.
That sounds like it's open.
Bears eligible harvest. Only lone black bears may be harvested. You may not harvest a bear that is with one or more other bears, including female bears or cubs. You can use just about anything to kill them.
Man, you shoot a bear with a bow, I'll call you Jake the Bear Man Anderson for the rest of your life.
Jake the Bear Man Anderson. You seen that video of Clay Newcomb hunting in Alaska and black bears, and one like came up and touched his broadhead with it was what's it called?
Recurve?
Yeah, traditional. That's the word I'm looking for. Traditional bow.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, it's nutty.
I want to shoot a bear. Bear's supposed to be delicious.
Oh, it is a super short season. 17th through the 26th, or until the harvest quota is reached in each black bear management zone.
17 to 26 of what month?
October, sorry.
So they only have a fall? Because I thought they usually have a fall and a spring season.
I don't think there's like just tons of black bear in Missouri. I wonder what kind of license you need.
Because Clay Newcomb's in Arkansas, right?
Or, yeah, he's in Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not, I don't have enough knowledge about bear hunting. Never lived in a place where that was a big thing.
I hardly know anything about it.
That'd be fucking... Dude, I'd go with you just to get a chunk of that bear meat.
And fat. The fat.
And bear
the rendered fat.
See, that's another thing. Bear fat. Like, that shit's supposed to be worth its weight in gold.
That is the bee's knees right there.
Imagine cooking a steak in bear fat.
Oh.
I might cry.
Oh, tortillas made with bear fat?
Good Lord.
I've never even had bear fat, and I know that would be good.
Imagine a chorizo and egg taco with bear fat tortillas. I'm gonna cry, dude. That sounds like heaven, bro.
I don't know how you get a license for one of these though.
It sounds open. Why would they make you call a line if they had tags?
True.
I'm suspecting that you buy like the what's it called, certification on your license.
Maybe. Doesn't say anything about it.
I don't know how Missouri works. Is there like a super combo license with everything?
I don't know. Let me see.
Because even with that, you still got to buy other certifications in Texas. Like you have to buy the Sandhill Crane
permits. Here we go. Ooh, applications. How to check bear and elk permit applications.
Oh.
Purchase your permit and application. So. It looks like you're drawn for it just by these pictures. More info.
That's a little confusing because if like when they set the number of draws to the quota of bears,
you would think, unless they're just giving more people opportunity, you know?
Yeah, but wouldn't that suck nuts if you drew and then the quota got hit?
I mean, yeah, but if it doesn't cost you anything, it doesn't really matter that much.
But it's still a draw. It's still random. You get drawn once in 10 years, right?
Oh, wait. They have elk draws. They have elk in Missouri? Excuse me?
What?
How to check bear and elk permits. That just registered to me.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about it. For some reason, I was thinking like Wyoming. Elk? Is it like the smallest elk known to man?
Oh, I saw an elk today, by the way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
At least you're closer to the Rockies than fucking Missouri. I didn't even think there was like an Appalachia population of.
I have no
elk.
idea. Need hunter's education permit. Purchase your permit and application. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, I don't want to fill in all my information. First time customer, need to purchase a license in Missouri.
Well, it sounds like you should do your research and then update us next week.
You're not wrong.
See what process looks like. That is an interesting discovery.
Mm-hmm.
I would be pretty cool. Shoot a bear.
That'd be so
shoot a bear with anything. Shoot a bear with a bow, and I need to get my bow ready for the season. I haven't shot it since the season ended.
Oh wow! It sounds like they had their first ever bear hunt in 2021.
What?
Kansas. All right. What you need to know about Missouri's first ever black bear hunt?
Like in the 1200 BC.
I'll just read this article.
Beginning to think it's not what it's like. What it sounds like.
Yeah. I'm sure that they like at some point shut it down for the management of black bears, but I mean they're just big raccoons. The black bear population is bouncing back in Missouri, and with it return comes the state's first ever black bear hunting season. First ever. The limited hunting season is the result of years of research and development by the regulatory framework by the Missouri Department of Conservation. Hunters are excited. Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, you got this on your computer? Just stream it. I can see it.
No, it's on my phone.
You should put it up on your, so we can see it.
Ooh, permits will be selected through random. Permits will be selected through a random lottery with at least 10% of permits going to landowners. A maximum of 40 black bears will be hunted during the 2021 season out of an estimated population of 800.
40? There's only going to be 40 permits? And 10% of those, so 4 go to landowners.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be 16, or 16, 36.
So it looks like there's like a 0% chance I'll ever draw that.
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? You're going to get there and ask to be in the permit. Like, did you just move here? They're like, fuck you, dude. Been here my whole goddamn life and I want to shoot black bear. Plus, who are the 4 landowners that get permits? Imagine being one of those guys. Like, you have to own 30,000 acres to get a permit. Man.
But black bears, they're coming back strong.
They're out there. Maybe if you never fucking leave Missouri, one day you'll draw on that. Draw on that draw.
Yeah.
Draw on that draw.
Draw that draw someday.
Oh, that means, fuck, you're moving to another state. You're not going to be able to enter the draws. I just got an email today about buy your lottery. You're donezo with me. You're not going to be able to build up those loyalty points.
I guess technically I could do it this year.
I think you can still do it out of state.
Oh, you can do it out of state.
Just cost a lot, or what?
It'll be a lot more, yeah, because I'll have to buy an out-of-state license. And
that's what it is. You have to have the license to buy them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's... See, I'm racking these up, man, until I die.
Yeah.
Good for you. I'm going to draw.
Didn't you apply to a college in Missouri?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to talk about it, though.
Oh, no? Why?
Well, I hope to get in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to live in Missouri.
Does anybody?
Your wife.
I think for the same reason that you applied to a college there, she applied for a job there.
Well,
sort of the same reason, not exactly.
That's fair. I'll give you that. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's fair. Because I guess if we all had to pick,
I'd be back.
I don't know. You think she would pick the same place? Like, she could live anywhere. I don't think she
actually cares that much.
Oh. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Good. Probably a good way to live.
Yeah, I mean,
with the flow.
Like, she's cool with Amarillo, so
yeah,
no way she can care.
Yeah, if she's cool, that fucking shit'll
be
gouging my eyes out. Well, yeah. I've applied to many schools not in Texas, so I won't be happy with it. And I'll be there even longer than fucking you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Assuming you don't stay, you might stay in the end.
Who knows? Maybe it'll be a great place.
No, yeah, I wouldn't go in there thinking it's gonna be total shit and then hate it like immediately. You know what I mean?
Oh no way. No way.
Might be just gotta leave an open mind. See, the problem with me specifically is my standards are so high that for a place to surpass that, it would take a lot. So I don't think I go into a place with expectations that it'll be better. However, if I'm ever, if my expectations are ever met, I guess, like if I'm ever surprised by it, it'll be unlikely. But I'd be interested to see what it's like. There's no place better for me. I can go hunting, inshore fishing, offshore fishing, go to the beach. Like,
it's got all your hobbies.
Right. I mean, it's kind of easy to say all my hobbies are based off where I live, but at this point, they're my hobbies. I don't know what I'm gonna do about it.
Set in stone.
Yeah. Are you gonna get into fly fishing now that you're gonna be landlocked? I guess you technically already were in Amarillo.
I don't know.
That's more popular in places like that, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
Why do you say it like that? Are you just not interested in learning to fly fish? Or?
No, I just... The general, like, person who... Like, the stereotypical person who fly fishes just doesn't appeal to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe I will.
That's the exact same reason I am apprehensive about learning. 2 reasons I'm apprehensive. One is, like, it has very limited use in Corpus just because it's so windy all the time.
Yeah.
But the other reason is it's become like a fucking hipster. Like, among the hunters, it's the hipster thing. With that fly out.
I don't even know if hipster is the right word for it. Like, I think almost like fad, popular.
Like, people are using flies. We don't need to use flies just to just for the sake of saying they fly fish.
Yeah, I fly fish. Oh, I don't care.
Yeah, like, all right, it can't be your whole personality that you fly fish.
Yeah, that's cool, I guess.
It looks fun, to be honest. And
Yeah,
if there comes a day where I'm on my flat stalker, the thing I showed you by the thing I sent you a picture of, if there becomes a day I'm in a flat on my flat stalker and it's a calm day, maybe it'd be fun to whip the fly out.
Look, it looks like a good way to quietly get a fly right in front of a redfish's face.
Yeah, I mean they use it for a reason.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I would give it a try if I was moving to Missouri like you, just because I think that's something that they do down there.
I have no
There's
idea.
There's gonna be fly shops or up there.
You think so?
I don't know. I would think anywhere where the fishing is predominantly freshwater, like river fishing, I would think.
It's a lot of lake fish. I mean, there are a lot of rivers too, but whenever I hear about fishing in Missouri, and this could be just don't know what I'm hearing, but it's about bass fishing.
Oh,
and you can fly fish bass.
Maybe. Yeah, but then that gets into the whole thing we just said about fat. That's not, you're not doing it because that's the best piece of equipment for that job.
Yeah.
You could be doing it because it's fun, but it's also just use a master, bro.
I fly fish.
Speaking of which, I've gotten over my dad's what's the word? I've gotten over the fact my dad's begrudging me.
Right-handed bait caster.
Yeah, next paycheck I'm gonna get one.
Yeah.
I actually, what's funny is we were looking at reels the other day when I was at your house.
Yeah.
And I think the one we were looking at was the Shimano. What was it? What is it called? Shimano Corrado. That's what it was. And without even mentioning this, I was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about getting a bait caster. What bait caster do you use?" Like, I didn't even remember the one I went with. And Dad was like, "All right, the number one brand for bait casters is Shimano. I usually get this one called the Shimano like Carasso or Travasso or whatever." And I was like, "Corrado?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I didn't say anything because at this point I'm still nervous about bringing up the left-handed, right-handed thing. But in the back of my mind, I was like, okay, independently verified. This is a good brand, quality reel.
Yeah.
And then I was talking to Dad about it, and I found this article where the guy was talking about it, and it was just like what we've been saying. Like, the guy's been doing his whole life with his right hand.
Yeah.
But he's an older guy, I guess. He said back in my day, there wasn't a left-handed. Everything was right-handed. So I've had to learn how to do it with my left hand. And then, like, basically he goes through his whole story. And at the end of it, he's like, today everybody's got options, Like, I would see no reason why somebody that's been using their right hand the whole time shouldn't stay with that and use a left-hand retrieve.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, less effort. You don't have to learn it. And I was like, you know what, Dad? Fuck you. I'm doing it. He's like, you know what? Get yourself a left-handed thing. I'm going to still outfish you every time. And I was like, probably, but at least I'll be able to cast this bait caster. Won't look like a damn fool trying to learn how to do it with my left hand.
Yeah.
Just gotta get practice with it, I guess. I mean, I could learn with the left hand, but it just doesn't seem because even when I had this conversation with him, I'm like, why? He's like, I don't know. I was like, why? I have no valid reason why. Yeah, I know. He didn't have a valid. There was no technical reason.
Yeah. It's like, give me a reason, old man.
Tell me why.
What's the secret?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get one next paycheck. I want to get that Corano, but that was like $180, so I got the gift card. I'm gonna wait till next paycheck.
Yeah. Start
practice with it. Because I'm all about. I'm inshore this. Okay, that's when I say I'm inshore this season. It's kind of a misnomer because I'm still not inshore over offshore. But I'm more into inshore fishing now than I've ever been. I'm
glad my family can help you with that.
Yeah, I'll say you definitely influenced it. The problem is, in previous years up to this point. Well, here's what I'll say. Until I've become an adult, and I also think moving away has done this, I didn't realize how much I loved fishing and hunting until not somewhat recently, but until I was older, let's say. Like if I go back in time, I would tell my younger self, just go fucking fishing. Like forget everything else, just go fishing and hunting as much as you can right now because this is the best opportunity you'll have.
Yeah.
And I guess the point is, it takes a minute to figure out what you're about. And what I figured out is I'm about hunting and fishing. That's what I'm about. So partly that's the reason why, just because I want to do more fishing in general. Therefore, I'm gonna inshore fish more. But yeah, going out with y'all and watching the Mark videos, and then going out with my dad like I always had, just not to volume that we are now. Has procked my reasons. But I'm not gonna lie, if I had to pick one, like gun to my head, you said you could only do one the rest of your life, I'd still pick offshore. But yeah, I want to get some more. I want to clock some more hours inshore fishing this year. That's what I'm hopeful for.
Yeah.
See, I need to get you offshore more, so you'll be in love with it. I am.
I mean, I enjoy going offshore, but chasing after those redfish, woof, woof.
Like, I don't think it's fair to ask you which one you pick, because I don't know if you've had enough experience to have a valid answer yet. And truthfully, I might not have enough because there's many different forms of inshore fishing. So maybe it's, not a valid argument for either of us to have this. But I think if you had to pick, what would you pick?
Sight casting reds.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I guess I think you can pick one moment of a certain hobby and say that's the highlight, like that's the best possible moment, and it still not be your overall best experience, I guess. Like what I'm trying to say is, if I had to pick one thing to do, and one thing only, it would be spearfishing offshore in blue water.
I can agree with that.
See, because I think that can be a valid opinion, and you can also say if I had to pick one the rest of my life, I'd pick inshore. Because maybe you're more likely to do inshore, or it's more accessible, or whatever your reasons are for that. Because in my head, one of the reasons I pick offshore, of the many reasons, is the fact that I can go spearfishing in 100 miles offshore and shoot something.
Yeah, when you say offshore fishing, I don't lump in spearfishing into that. That's a separate category for me.
Okay, so let's do this then. Let's rank experiences versus the hobbies themselves. So let's say we have sight casting reds. We have I don't want to say spearfishing because that seems too general, but let's just say spearfishing pelagics. Offshore spearfishing pelagics. And then we have let's just say red snapper fishing, for instance. Or we could say trolling offshore or something like that. If you had to pick between one of those experiences, which one would you pick?
To be my favorite?
Yeah, gun to your head, you can only do one from now on.
Well, I've never shot any pelagic off of a rig fish.
Okay, so note to self, we need to fucking do that because I've shot cobia and that was awesome.
Yeah. So I guess sight casting reds, and then spearfishing, and then offshore fishing.
Yeah, see, I think I would have. Oh, that's a hard one. Spearfishing would definitely go to number one for me. The sight casting reds is a fucking.
But the sight casting reds is so much more fresh in my mind.
But it's also
it doesn't feel fair to me, and
it's more accessible.
I had a super good experience last time I went, so it's almost not fair.
See, and I went red snapper literally yesterday morning, so I'm that's a fresh memory in my head.
Yeah,
I don't know. See, if you add in all the variables, how often I can do it, how much it would cost me to do it, I think I would do spearfishing and then sight casting reds. Because just give me a fucking kayak, I could go sight cast reds.
Yeah.
Whereas going offshore, I got to pay for gas, have the boat, all that stuff.
It's definitely a lot more expensive to go offshore. Anything.
Right. I mean, fucking gas is so expensive. I look at the pump while we're filling up the boat. And I'm like, I'm so glad I don't have to pay for this.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because I was talking to Dad today about it. Because he and I want to go halvesies on a big boat to go offshore fishing. And I was like, man, that's going to be a grind convincing my future wife to
Nah.
pay for half of this shit.
Not
It's
if
so
you're
expensive.
a doctor, it won't be.
Yeah, maybe. I hope. Praise the Lord. I might have to move to fucking Missouri, but
Hey, man's gotta do what he's gotta do.
yeah, it's true. I mean, I know one thing's for sure. I'm definitely not moving to Corpus to do med school, so I might as well just be cool with whatever.
Yeah.
I'm still hoping for Texas. Don't want the state.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I don't know.
But that's also if that's an option. I'm not saying you have to. Not like if you leave Texas at all, you hate Texas, you fucking bastard. Like it's not like that.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking like, because Amarillo is part of Texas.
Yeah, those are
and
shit.
Amarillo is really not that great.
No, yeah, it sucks.
And like, I just went to El Paso. El Paso's really not that great either.
Nope.
So there's a lot of Texas that's really just not that great.
But Texas is big.
Texas is huge.
And it also, my love for Texas encompasses a lot of different things, not just the geography.
Yeah.
You know, the politics, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like, unless you want to get an abortion, Texas is all right.
Yeah.
Which, I don't even know if Texas is going to end up making it illegal or not. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I don't know. It seems like a thing Texas would do after they've repealed it, but
I'm down for it. They can go to Colorado or whatever.
You'd pick Colorado? Is that what you said?
What? No, I said I'm down for it, for them making it illegal.
Oh.
Like, I'm totally down for that, and I said they could just go to Colorado. Because there's no way that they'll make it illegal.
I'm down for making elective abortions illegal.
Define that.
Because I was talking to Mom, and the only thing she was pissed about is they were talking, and talking doesn't mean it's going to happen, obviously, which is a point she made, but she said they're talking about making all abortions illegal.
The only time I'm okay with an abortion is if it is going to cause physical harm to the mother to carry that child.
Right.
And I don't mean just like normal physical harms.
Yeah, like life and death.
Yeah,
if you keep this baby, like if you had to pick between saving this unborn baby and the woman, like
right, then that's okay. But
the world's so crazy now. That's something you actually have to discuss. Because in my mind, even if they made it illegal, it's still common sense for stuff like that to happen.
Yeah, you would think, but
I guess this is shit they debate about nowadays. Common sense is a debatable subject, I guess.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I know.
But yeah, man.
Oh, I missed the trash can.
It's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about them repealing it. Just because I thought like the only thing it actually did was give people the choice whether or not to.
No, so I can't even remember what the deal is called, but
Roe v. Wade.
Yeah, the Roe v. Wade. So what it did was give people the option. Oh my God, what are the words I'm looking for? It was your constitutional right to have an abortion. That's what Roe v. Wade gave you. And so now that Roe v. Wade has appealed, it's gone to the states to determine whether they will allow abortions or not, and if so, like in what fashion.
Interesting. See, I'm not mad at that.
No, it's just states' rights.
Because if it's not a constitutional right, then you can just vote how you feel about the certain subject. So if your state votes to have it, then cool. If your state votes not to, then you know what your state politics align with, and you can adjust accordingly.
Yeah, the only argument against that is some people can't afford to move states, right? But
True.
I don't know. I figure if you care that much, you can probably figure out a way.
See, I think that's I think that's all right, but I also think like contraception should be free then. Like if the
like
goal
what
is
kind?
to like birth
Plan
control
B?
and condoms.
Birth control and condoms? Like, does Plan B go into that too, or?
I don't
And
know
like, how do
about
you
that.
make that free? Then you're increasing government spending, which increases taxes. Or is it
Well, I
is
think
it states that are paying for it? In which case, state tax will go up.
okay. So here's the deal: if the goal is to minimize like the amount of unwanted births, right?
Well, I think the goal is to
Or the goal of abortion.
minimize. Oh, the goal of abortion?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that's just for convenience sake, but yeah,
For some people, or
it's to
like
minimize.
unwanted birth.
Yeah,
Like
it's to
that's an unwanted
minimize
birth.
unwanted pregnancies.
Because I would think we spend a lot of money on like child protective, like all the chicks that end up having kids that don't give a fuck, who would have gotten an abortion, has a kid, and then like the kid has to go into the system. I'm just saying, I think we probably spend a lot of money on like child protective services, like welfare, all that kind of stuff, right? Like some states or maybe even the country, I'm not sure. I know they were doing this during the pandemic, like a child credit, like you get a certain amount of money from the government for every kid you have if you're in like under the poverty line.
Yeah.
I just think we'd save a lot of money if there was more, you know, contraception going around, or at least less births in general. Like if the goal of the abortions was to have less unwanted pregnancies, and we spend a lot of money on these kids that come from these pregnancies. In my monkey brain, it sounds like a simple concept where like we could probably end up saving money if we spent the
Sure.
money on.
I think one of the biggest things it's not anybody can afford contraception. Like condoms don't cost that much. So I don't think that's the problem, but I think maybe information is the problem. Like knowledge on the subject is the problem. So I think there probably needs to be better programs.
So like knowledge on what safe sex is, you mean?
Yeah, what safe sex is, what that outcome can be if you don't have safe sex, you know? Like what does that look like for you? Maybe because and I believe Sarah told me this. Like in places where they ban abortion, you don't actually see abortion numbers go down. It's just illegal abortions go up, right? So the problem isn't that you can or can't have abortions. It's something else. So I think knowledge is probably that. Maybe something else.
Yeah, that's probably accurate. Because I always go like, really? How do people not know that? And then I'm always later like, okay, they clearly don't know. I don't need to begrudge them for not knowing now. I just need to tell them.
Right. And like there's a lot of myths out there. Like, you know, if you pull out, you'll be perfectly fine. Like that just doesn't work that well.
If you pull out like an hour before.
If you pull out before you start, you'll be okay. But it does not work that well. So
yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. I just don't because I would think people want to minimize unwanted pregnancies, right?
You would think.
But I don't know. Smarter people than me need to debate this subject. That's why I'm not in charge of politics. But I don't exactly know what's going to happen next, especially in this state. I don't know. Because I feel like they're going to. I don't know for sure. Texas has been a little wishy-washy on the politics lately.
I just remembered this, but I want to say in Texas they were talking about doing a 6-week rule, which effectively bans abortions, which I would be cool with. I mean, I'm not cool with people getting an abortion at all, but other than the reasons I stated. But
yeah,
I think the 6-week ban if you're gonna compromise, which I'm not down for, but if you're gonna compromise, works pretty well to just effectively ban abortions.
Well, this podcast got off topic really quick, but
and we are an hour and something in.
Oh, great! Well, we're gonna end off on this abortion topic.
We're ending on the music's going.
Fucking idiots! Oh, great! This is a great. Kids, if you're listening, I hope you enjoy it.